Anyways, like I said, I'm going to Dallas area robot combat this weekend. And 3 months ago, I did a similar stream where I showed off my robots. So I'd like to show you, the garbage that has been produced from my garage to take to this event for us to not win. I'm going to show you only the shell because we're actually not done with it. Tomorrow morning we're going to stick it on the base and, well, you'll see. This robot weighs only 150 grams. So to put that into perspective, that's like 4 ounces. Like 4 or 5 ounces maybe. And here it goes. Beep beep. It's the big killer cigarette pack of death named Telefrag. If there's any Doom fanboys in the house tonight, you might recognize the paint scheme and the name to be a Doom reference. A Telefrag is when you spawn in and you kill somebody, like you teleport in wherever they're standing and you get an insta kill, and it's a green explosion. So we've got green flames, and as you can see, there's nothing underneath it yet because we're not completely done with Telefrag. This still needs to be mounted to the base, and then we'll be good to go. So we're doing this like literally tomorrow morning, like right before we leave. We're going to be attaching this to the base. It has tank tracks too, because why the fuck not, right? Anyways, it's actually a pretty nippy robot. It can push. It doesn't. We ran out of time and we ran out of weight for a weapon. What it was originally supposed to have was underneath right here. We have the tiny little motor that was supposed to go right here with a with a little buzzsaw, and the buzzsaw was going to poke through the wedge. So it gets underneath people and goes bzzz, and then we put him in the pit. So this is the one. This is the one I'm going to say bet your money on, because I know when I edit this and I put it for YouTube, there's going to be a jump cut in a second here where it shows you how well Telefrag did, and we'll I guess we'll see how that goes. Last time I showed off a robot was Kill Switch. That was a 3-pound robot. So this is the same weight class. Here comes, beep beep. Here it comes. Oh shit! Did that just fuck up my table? There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's beautiful. It's a fucking car. I had this harebrained idea. If you look on the bottom, like, okay, first of all, these wheels aren't real wheels. If you flip it over on the bottom, these wheels are the real ones. These are just for show to make it look like a stupid car. I bought this big aluminum box, and I was like, hey, that'd be perfect for a robot base. We'll just throw everything inside this base and stick it all together, and it's already self-contained. All we gotta do is put a shell on it. So I was like, what kind of shell could we put on this thing? And I decided it's gonna be a car. As much as I want to call this one my baby, it looks fantastic, but we had some problems with the drive motors. We bought some fucking Chinese motors off the internet, and they're not very fast. They're not as fast as I think we were told, and I'm running them at twice of their rated voltage. So that's the best that we could do, unfortunately. So this one, it takes forever to turn. It's not very fast. It can push a lot with this goddamn train plow we put on the front of it. I mean, this thing, I was hoping we'd be able to stab some people with it. You know, it's mean, it's nasty looking. I mean, look at this. This coming at you at a high speed, you're gonna have a bad time, okay? You're gonna have a bad day. But yeah, AliExpress. If you're if you're gonna buy robot parts, don't buy robot parts from AliExpress. That's a bad idea. It's not a good idea. Tomorrow I'm driving out to Dallas. The event is on Sunday, but we're getting there tomorrow because from Corpus Christi, Dallas is like a 7-hour drive. So we're driving literally all day. And then we're gonna stay at the hotel. We're going to the event Sunday, and then Monday we're checking out of the hotel. We're driving 7 hours back. So this is what we got going on. Thank you for wishing me luck in chat, by the way. I do appreciate it. But this is the one to bet your money on because there's a pit in the arena for the little baby robots. So it's gonna be doing some shoving. Gonna put some bots in the pit, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win. And mark my words, 1 week from this stream, I'm gonna come back and next week's unbox is gonna be the fucking trophy I win. So I brought the robots back with me after the event, and I think it's safe to say we did pretty well. Here is Telefrag. You might notice Telefrag is literally like completely undamaged, and that's because this I feel kind of cheap saying this, but Telefrag's weight class, you really don't see too many people that have killer spinning weapons of death. If I get in close in the camera, you can see that some of the paint is chipped off. Oh no, that's really the extent of the damage. Now the bigger question is, how well did Telefrag do in its division? 150 grams, by the way, is how much it weighs. Just in case you weren't here last week. How well did it do in its division? Well, I'm glad you asked, because Telefrag brought home second place. Second place. Not even making this up. If we get a better glare on this, hang on. It's kind of hard to read. It's laser etched. 2017, second place, 150 gram, and then dark is the event. Robot Rebellion 1.2, I think it should say on there. Yeah, came home with the silver medal. Now, as I say silver medal, all of these look the same. They just have different they just have different etchings on them. But I'm really pleased with that, because this is our team's very first medal win in 13 or 14 years. So this has been a long time coming. So that's why this is special to me. I know there's a lot of people out there who are so damn good at this that have hundreds of dollars to dump into these parts, and they win awards left and right. Like, we had some guys that brought home medals in multiple different weight classes. I mean, I'm not trying to knock those people. I mean, if I had the disposable income, I'd certainly buy better pizza, Papa John's, better ingredients. I'd buy that myself. But for what it cost, I think Telefrag cost us about $40 to $50 to build, and then for that, to be able to bring home an award for that, I think is something really special. So another relic definitely going on the shelves of glory. I have a spot already cut out for it. Hey Draco, do you happen to have footage of Telefrag at this event? And I would say yes. And I would say please hang on, and I can cue up that beautiful bean footage, complete with music by our very own Rockyowitz. Anyways, here's that video that just so happens to be made ahead of time. So that's a wrap on that. The match against Bluebell, you might have noticed I didn't get pushed out. He had to put it on its side. So that'll be something to learn for next time, if we can get the weight to maybe put some spikes on the side of that so it can't do that. Can't do that anymore. But other than that, I think it was going well, except for that rumble. We kind of it's very hard to drive in a rumble because there's so many things to keep your eyes on, and because I finished the guy that went out first in the rumble got first place, and then I went out third in the rumble because I managed to shove a guy in the pit. But when you're in a rumble, the way that works is that everybody's got their sights set on whoever won, and then they go after that person. And then after that person's dead, they're like, who got second place? Everybody go after that person. And then you just kind of go on down the chain until there's nobody left. I'm sure I can already hear you saying, hey Draco, I thought you brought 2 robots to this event. And I'd say, you're right. We brought 2 robots, and we only came back with 1.5. Because full auto is a little bit worse for wear. Remember that great paint job this thing used to have? It was all beautiful. It's been completely scuffed up. There's just a cut all the way down the side of it. It's not cut through, mind you. They couldn't cut through, but it's cut all the way down the side of this. And oh man, it's shedding. It's still shedding paint. If I flip it over on this side, it's got 1 of its decorative wheels left, which, considering we went in there with 4 and they kept getting popped off, that was pretty good. That was great fun, by the way. These fake wheels, we fooled people the first time because they thought those were actual real wheels, and when they got ripped off, they're like, how is it still moving? And then they slowly pieced the fact together that all the wheels are on the bottom of this thing. Yeah, this front end is completely eaten up. I mean, here's a better view from the front. This stood up to the weapons of the robots who eventually got first place and second place, and for that I am beyond pleased with this robot's performance. Never got knocked out. They didn't knock it out. They beat the hell out of it, but they could not knock it out. I will say, in the Rumble, as you'll see in the video that's about to play, we do get knocked out in the Rumble in a very spectacular fashion, because look at the size of this dent on the bottom of this machine. This dent, I don't know if I can properly... I mean, it's poking out far enough that it's basically high-centered the entire robot, and that's why we couldn't move. Everything on this robot is still 110% in working order. Everything works. All the motors work, the wheels work, the battery works, the speed controller's not dead. It's just that we got hit so hard that it it dented in the bottom of our armor. I'm sure you guys are itching to see video footage of Full Auto getting its ass kicked. So, without further ado, let's roll that beautiful bean footage. kind of see the hit that we took in that rumble. We did a frame by frame of this, right? And we counted. Full auto did four flips, 4 rolls through the air, stuck the landing, and like I said, it still works. It's just that there's a giant dent in the side from where he hit us, from where that guy got us, and we couldn't recover from that. All the wheels still work. I tested it after the match. I was like, let me see something. I rolled it on its back and fucked with the joystick, and sure enough, all the wheels kept turning. It's just the bottom of the robot is literally just like bowed out, so it can't drive. I don't know what's gonna happen to full auto, but the shell is definitely gonna be retired, and we're gonna hang it up on the wall. I mentioned last week that we had some problems with the motors. So the motors we got were kind of duds, and they were a lot slower than we anticipated. They were a lot slower than we wanted. So we could have a full auto emote. We can have emotes now. Now that we have subscriptions available, we could do that. Could also have a little Telefrag emote as well. I might do that. I don't know. I need some ideas for emotes, but we're going to bang out the dent in the bottom of full auto and hang them up on the wall. And not sure what we're going to be doing for the rest of its legacy. Full auto may have just been a one-off, interesting. I don't want to say joke bot because I really don't build joke bots. I am serious about what I do, even if everything looks a little bit whimsical. But Telefrag is basically undamaged, so this one definitely coming back, just straight on. I mean, with second place with Telefrag, I can't not bring it back. You know what I'm saying? All in all, it was a great trip, and I'm glad I got to do it. I'm glad I got to spend some time with my dad building these robots. You can use the trophy as a weapon. Yeah, we could. If you hit someone hard enough with it, you'd break something with it. I don't know what this trophy is made out of, but it's heavy as fuck. Like it's solid. I don't know, what is it, steel? I don't know, but it filthies up your hands and it smells like metal when you touch it, so that's that's one hell of an award anyways. I could wear it around my neck. I could be like Flavor Flav. I could do that. It's adamantium. I don't know. I think it's probably made out of laser cut steel is my guess. Like tool steel or something, I'm not sure. But it's actually pretty cool. It's made from one entire piece of metal, and they heated and then bent this part over. Next event is in 3 months. It's in September, probably toward the end of the month of September, because that seems to be when they do these. So we got 3 months to figure out something we're going to replace full auto with, and 3 months to put new batteries in Telefrag. Thank you for entertaining my severe terminal autism when it comes to BattleBots. It's one of my vices. I love participating in it. The culture is great. There's a lot of camaraderie. In fact, I had somebody help me solder a wire on full auto. His master power switch actually came undone during safety inspection. So I had to have somebody help us solder because I don't have any depth perception because I'm nearly blind in one eye. And my father has nerve damage, so he can't actually hold a soldering gun still. So between the two of us, nobody on our team could do the soldering, so we had to get some help with that. So like I said, there's just a lot there's a lot of teamwork that goes beyond just your own team, and you help each other out. There was a team behind us in the pits who brought a robot named Tentative, and bless their hearts, they came in and they were late for check-in, and then the safety official told them, you have 5 minutes, and one of the team members was like, can we get 10? And they were like, you can get 7. So they actually fucking haggled on how much time they had to get ready for check-in. And they had a wheel that wouldn't work, and so they only went into check-in with only one wheel, and they built a replacement wheel out of like wood or something in the pits. And we actually helped them. We lent them our pop rivet gun so they could attach their chassis to their frame better than they had it. So we there is that sense of camaraderie. So I had a great time, and I look forward to September.